Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Williams, episode number 13 today for the Japanese Grand Prix of Season 1. If you of course missed the previous episode uploaded on Monday, then I recommend go and check out any of the other episodes as well. There is a link to the playlist in the description below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more Driver Career Mode videos. But moving to R&D then, we're sort of looking at chassis and aero upgrades. Decided to go for this major weight reduction upgrade to try and get it in time for the Mexican Grand Prix, the penultimate round. And also there's going to be a focus on aero and chassis because of course there's a technical regulation change potentially. The proposed amendments for next year's technical regulation will see changes to the ICE, the hybrid system components in their packaging in the car. So the power unit is looking like it's going to be reset from Season 1 to Season 2. I've never seen that email and not actually have a regulation change, so we'll see. We'll probably get a little cutscene, the only cutscene we get in this career mode as well at some point. But interestingly, on the R&D graph, we're now ahead of AlphaTauri, who haven't upgraded since the Italian Grand Prix 3 races ago. So yeah, that's interesting that AlphaTauri have absolutely plummeted down the field from being the 4th slowest team to now be the 2nd slowest team. Only Haas are now below them. But of course we know what Gasly and Tsunoda, they've been in good form, and they're probably able to drag that car further up the grid than we've had, especially with Russell's poor focus at the moment, which is why he's sitting with no points at the moment. But anyway, moving to qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix. Japan's not really a great track for me, and well, moving into qualifying, it showed as we're down in last place. I mean, qualifying going usually well. Russell and Mazepin deciding not to come out for a second run. Don't know if that's a little glitch occurring when the AI used to do that. They still tend to do that in Grand Prix mode. So that yes, we'll see if that's obviously that'll be the main target to get ahead of them, especially the fact that they're not setting another lap, a faster lap. But through the first section, it's 1/10 lap. I don't like this for sector 1. I'm never fast sector 1. So compared to the AI, I always lose time in sector 1. It's always a large amount of time, like half a second slower than the AI. Through the hairpin though, we made up 2/10 actually, so that's a good corner for me. We now head down to the spoon curve, which is another point in the track where I'm not great at. In actual fact, I'm fastest around Suzuka in sector 3. 3.5 tenths up now. This is where we're going to start gaining. Well, we're gaining on our previous best time, but we're also gaining on the AI now. I'm running a lower drag setup than potentially what I could be through the sector 1. So through up to the old chicane, and we're coming through the final corners. A little bit of time on the entry to the final corner, but we get a lot of thing out the exit. It's half a second up improvement, and that half a second improvement is only enough for P18. So yes, not great. I mean, Lewis Hamilton will be looking to maximise his performance, so P18 on the grid. It's not that great. Schumacher faster, AlphaTauri is faster. We'll see what we can do though. From 18th on the grid, it's time for the race, the Japanese Grand Prix.
We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula 1 season. 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Charles Leclerc and Perez, Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Stroll and Carlos Sainz, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty. Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, a Williams and Pierre Gasly, Russell and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Not sure about that, Jeff. This could be a bad one. Interesting, Gasly's got another penalty. So we've been promoted to P17. I've lost count how many penalties Gasly's had. I think he's on his like 10th engine or something. Something ridiculous like that throughout this series. I'm sure somebody actually knows. But in the race director, I thought I'd go and double check and see who's on which tyres. And everybody's chosen to start on soft. So I think we might as well just risk it and go and start on the mediums. We'll undercut people as well, because it's that weird thing with a 25% race, 13 laps, you actually do less laps on the mediums. That's just how the tyre model works on a 25% race, unfortunately, in F1 2021. But anyway, 5 red lights come on, and after a small held, away we go. And it's a poor start. It's a poor start for the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo, who's also had a grid penalty as well. Gasly's on the soft tyres, keen to make up place. We're going to go around the outside of Schumacher and Tsunoda, almost off circuit there. We're going to now we're off circuit with Raikkonen and Gasly. I think there's definitely contact made, and I think Ricciardo is round. Try to keep the car under control, not having the grip. Like the tyres, we just did not want to turn in there, turn 1, and then we just tried to take the racing line to the next corner and obviously try to go 3 wide. This is on board with Ricciardo. He is a little bit sketchy, Ricciardo, because he gets the better exit and then he's squeezed by Raikkonen already, and then he just gets squeezed off as well by me pulling alongside as well. And Raikkonen, has got front wing damage, so he's slowing everybody up now. As well, he's going about 5 miles an hour, so they've yellow flags at the hairpin as well, which is allowing us to get ahead of that lot. But Lewis Hamilton then leads the Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen. Verstappen hasn't been this high up for ages. He's been very poor throughout this career mode. Bottas is the Malerious challenger. Actually, he's down in third place as it stands. But we jumped to lap 4 and not really making any progress on Giovinazzi in the front. Although saying that, something's happened up ahead. There's been an absolute crash. There's a Ferrari around. I think that's Leclerc. The safety car has been deployed. We're going to come in at the end of lap 4. To put the soft tyres, it should be fine in 25% race. But this is what happened. Leclerc spins at the chicane and just causes an absolute car park. Well, I think that's Ocon goes through as Alonso rear ends. We got right on board with Leclerc in the Ferrari car to see catch the curb. That's just F1 2021 curbs as Stroll comes in at 1,000 miles an hour there, and Ocon's got a penalty as well. It was Alonso that went past, not Ocon, excuse me. But anyway, we're coming in anyway because we were going to be in anyway. For our one and only stop on to set soft tyres. Might encounter a little bit of tyre wear at the end, but I feel it's the better strategy to make up places and get good results. So we've been gifted P7, but I think we're the highest placed person yet to stop. But at that moment in time, everybody came in, and the top 5 came in, and Alonso now is the race leader, the only man left out on a set of soft tyres. So we're potentially a net P6. Notice also Lando Norris has got ahead of Bottas as well. So that's going to have ramifications for the championship, because we're going to go side by side with Sergio Perez, oh so close to banging with his side pod. We force him off circuit as well. He's still there on the left hand side, and now we keep our foot in. That allows Tsunoda. That was a great bit of side by side racing between turn 1. Neither of us really wanting to give up the position. We tried to take the racing line, tried to give them as much room as possible. Bearing in mind this is a Williams, it is slow, but Perez wasted no time getting back in front of Tsunoda as well. Maybe a bit of junior team orders going on there. I'm not entirely sure. As jump on board with Norris, he's going to try and repeat what we managed to do with his team, with Verstappen's teammate Perez, but Norris is unable to keep his foot in at turn 1 and retains P3 as we watching Esteban Ocon, and Ocon is out of the race with an engine failure. So he is the first retirement because Leclerc actually kept going, despite he just needed to ghost, and you can see him there at the back of the trainers. We jumped to lap 12. It's been a quiet second half of the race, to be honest. Perez, the only place where he's strong is through the center S's, but there's no really reason unless we keep the line and he's able to keep past us. And really by the end, although the tyre wear going off 40%, and yes, the top 4 have sailed off into the sunset, I think we've done well, and I will definitely take P5. It was a gifted P5, I will admit, but it's a P5 nevertheless. I'll definitely take happy. It's more points, and it continues our little run that we've been having recently where we've not finished outside the top 5. So we got very lucky today. Other than that, I think we've probably been fighting for like P12 or something like that. And George Russell got a point. His first point in this career mode. Wow, we've been pretty much carrying this team to 5th place, but now he's managed to get us a point. To be fair, that is well deserved after his antics at Singapore. It's only a point because Ricciardo and Schumacher both got a 5-second penalty, which I thought they had served at the time at their pit stop. I think it was because they collided with Leclerc, but yes, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, we're way ahead of Sainz, so Sainz isn't going to catch us. We're the 96 points as well now, so we've been extremely lucky throughout this career. I don't think we would have probably got a couple of points, but not that many.
You're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it? Did you feel that things went well for you today?
Well, we've been extremely lucky throughout this series. I'm sure it will run out at some point. Well, of course it did. The stars aligned and Leclerc span it at the chicane. I mean, if he hadn't done that, would have been 12th. So yes, there we go. Another top 5 finish. Well, can we round this series off in style and get a potential? Well, we might even be on for a seat at Mercedes. Never mind spending 1 year at Williams, but we'll see. In terms of, we're actually good on parts as well, so that's the best news as well. We're good on parts. You saw there briefly Russell's focus is actually very poor, 64, which is why he's not been doing that great throughout this career mode, and where we've been able to overdrive the car at times. Yes, we've got lucky. 9th and 10th places, Britain we were lucky, but Austria, I felt that was the true performance of the car. Belgium we got lucky with the strategy as well. So we've been very lucky recently, and then obviously Italy, Singapore we got lucky because Russell deployed the Williams master plan. The Netherlands we also got lucky. So I'm just wondering, when's this luck going to run out and we're going to finish outside the top 10 again? I don't know, but anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. You see plenty more F1 2021 driver career mode videos and other 2021 gameplay content as and when it comes out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.